Have you ever wondered why people you thought supported you sometimes act cold, distant, or even critical? It's easy to think that their behavior means you've done something wrong, but what if the truth is far deeper than that? What if, in their quiet moments, they're actually wrestling with a feeling they'd never dare to admit out loud? Envy. The kind of envy that sits behind their eyes, tightens their jaw, and makes them secretly wish they had your confidence, your courage, your spark. It's a feeling that can make them pull away, or worse, lash out in ways that leave you questioning your worth. But here's the truth. Envy is a mirror of your own strength, not a sign of your weakness. Imagine for a second that every time someone envies you, it's like a secret confirmation that you're growing, that you're evolving, that you're showing up in the world in a way that others wish they could. It's the kind of silent applause no one claps for but everyone feels. The very things that make you different, the way you speak your mind, the passion you pour into your goals, the authenticity you carry, these are the qualities that spark a quiet fire of longing in others. Because deep down they see in you the freedom they crave, the confidence they struggle to find, the courage they've been too afraid to embrace. It's hard to see envy for what it is because it hides behind fake smiles and polite conversations. It pretends to be harmless banter or even supportive words, yet behind the surface there's a tension, an unspoken question that echoes in their minds. Why them and not me? And sometimes their way of dealing with that question is to judge you, to distance themselves, or to downplay your achievements. But know this, their reaction is not a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of the battle they're fighting within themselves. A battle between wanting to be like you and not knowing how to get there. So if you've ever felt isolated because of someone's envy, remember that their envy is not your burden to carry. Instead, let it remind you that you're on the right path. You're living in a way that challenges others to look at their own lives, their own choices, and their own dreams. And that is powerful. That is rare. That is why they envy you. So hold your head high and keep moving forward. Because in the end, their envy is a sign that you are inspiring change. Whether they can admit it or not, stay strong, stay kind, stay you. Because the world needs more of the light that only you can shine. And that's a reason to keep going no matter what. There's a hidden battle happening every day, one that you may not always see, but one that shapes the way people look at you and the way they treat you. Every time you step forward with courage, every time you take a risk that others shy away from, you're shining a light on what's possible. And for some, that light is too bright, too challenging, too painful to look at. Because when you choose to rise, you're not just lifting yourself, you're holding up a mirror to everyone around you. That mirror shows them their unfulfilled dreams, their abandoned goals, and the potential they've been too afraid to reach for. And in that reflection, envy is born, not because you've done something wrong, but because you've done something they wish they had the strength to do. It's easy to forget that envy often comes from a place of admiration twisted by insecurity. People see the way you walk through life with resilience, how you turn setbacks into lessons, and they wonder why they can't do the same. But rather than asking you for guidance, rather than cheering you on, some people choose the easier path. They turn that admiration into resentment. It's simpler for them to believe that you got lucky or that you don't deserve what you have than it is to confront their own fears and excuses. And while it may hurt to see their reactions, it's important to remember that their envy is not a measure of your worth. It's a reflection of their own struggle to accept their own potential. You might notice that their words carry a subtle sting, a hidden bitterness that seeps into even the most casual comments. They might congratulate you with a forced smile or a compliment that feels half-hearted. And deep down you can sense it, they're fighting with themselves. Because your growth reminds them of the work they've been avoiding. Your strength challenges their comfort zone. Your light exposes the shadows they'd rather keep hidden. But don't let their struggles dim your shine. Don't let their envy silence your voice. You are not responsible for the battles they choose to fight, or the dreams they choose to abandon. Instead, let their envy fuel your determination. Let it remind you that you're walking a path that others wish they had the courage to follow. Every step you take, every risk you embrace, every moment you choose authenticity over acceptance, these are the reasons people envy you. They see the life you're building, the choices you're making, and deep down they wish they could do the same. So stand tall, stay true to yourself, keep shining. Because while some people may never find the courage to tell you how much they admire you, know that your life is a living invitation for them to rise. And one day, they just might. When you understand that envy is rooted in insecurity, you start to see that it's not always about something you did wrong. It's about something you did right. Your drive, your passion, your refusal to settle for less. These are all qualities that stand out in a world that often asks people to shrink. Every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you refuse to accept limits, you challenge others to do the same. But not everyone is ready for that challenge. and so they retreat behind the safety of envy, hoping it will protect them from facing their own fears. Yet envy can't protect them. It only traps them. And while they're stuck in that trap, you keep moving forward, breaking barriers they didn't think could be broken. Your progress might feel like a threat to them, but that's not your burden to carry. It's not your responsibility to shrink so others can feel tall. Remember that the light you carry is not a weapon, it's a beacon. It shows others what's possible, even if it makes them uncomfortable. Your success doesn't steal opportunities from anyone, it expands the realm of what's possible for everyone. So when you notice envy in the eyes of those around you, don't let it plant seeds of doubt in your heart. Let it be a reminder that you're doing the work that others are too afraid to begin. Let it be proof that you are living a life worth noticing, a life that calls others to rise. And when envy shows up in the form of criticism or coldness, understand that it's just fear wearing a mask. Fear that they're being left behind. Fear that they're not enough. Fear that your courage exposes their excuses. You have no control over the emotions that live in their hearts, but you do have control over the way you respond. Choose to respond with grace. Choose to keep your focus on your own journey, because every moment you spend worrying about their envy is a moment you take away from your growth, and growth is what you came here for. Keep your heart open, but your boundaries strong. Recognize that not everyone is meant to walk beside you, and that's okay. Some people will choose to stay in their shadows while you move toward the light, but your light is not dependent on their approval. It comes from within. And every time you stand in that light, you inspire others to find their own. Even those who envy you may one day thank you, silently or out loud, for showing them that it was possible to rise. So let their envy be a sign that you're doing something right. Let it be the fuel that keeps your fire burning bright. Because in a world that often asks people to dim their light, you are the reminder that it's okay to shine. Every time you choose to stand in your truth, even when the world tries to pull you down, you're sending a message that echoes louder than any words. It's a message that says you will not be defined by anyone else's limitations. It's a declaration that your dreams matter, that your journey matters, that you matter. This is the power that stirs envy in those who haven't yet found the courage to own their path. It's not because you've done anything to hurt them, but because you've done something they wish they could, and that can be hard for them to admit, even to themselves. They see the strength in your eyes, the determination in your actions, and it confronts them with a question they're not always ready to answer. Why am I not living the life I truly want? The envy they feel is not your fault, and it's not your responsibility to fix. You can't walk their journey for them. You can't choose their courage, but you can continue to walk yours, and in doing so, you give others permission to confront their own fears. You become the spark that reminds them that it's possible to change. Even when they react with envy, know that, deep down, part of them wants to believe in themselves the way you believe in yourself. Their envy is a sign that they're noticing the difference between who they are and who they could be. And while they may not be ready to embrace that difference, your example shows them that it's possible. So don't shrink to make them comfortable. Don't hide your light to avoid making them feel small. The world needs more people who refuse to settle. The world needs your authenticity, your passion, your unwavering commitment to living life on your terms. Every time you choose growth, you're proving that dreams can be turned into reality, that obstacles can be overcome, that fear can be faced and conquered. You're showing the world that a life of purpose is not just a dream, it's a choice. When envy shows up, let it be a reminder that you're living in a way that demands attention. Let it strengthen your resolve. Let it deepen your gratitude for the progress you've made. Remember that envy often hides the silent wish to be more like you. And while not everyone will admit it, your journey is an invitation for them to find their own strength. Keep going, keep shining, keep choosing courage over comfort. Because every time you do, you're not just transforming your own life. You're planting seeds of transformation in others. Even in their envy, you are a light that can't be dimmed. When you decide to embrace your potential, something powerful happens within you. You begin to trust the voice inside that tells you that you were made for more than the doubts and limitations that others try to place on you. That trust builds a foundation of self-belief that no amount of envy can shake. The truth is, people envy you because they see a strength in you that they haven't yet found in themselves. They see the way you stand tall in the face of challenge, the way you keep going when it would be easier to quit. They see your light, and it reminds them of the places they've dimmed their own. That's not something to apologize for, it's something to celebrate. Because every time you choose to honor your own growth, you create space for others to do the same. Their envy may try to convince you to shrink, to play small, to hide your gifts. But you must remember that you are not here to fit into someone else's expectations. You are here to become the person you were meant to be, no matter who feels uncomfortable along the way. You have a responsibility to your own journey, to your own heart, to the dreams that keep you awake at night. Those dreams deserve to see the light of day. They deserve your commitment, your passion, your unwavering belief that you can achieve them. And when others envy that, it's because they're seeing a possibility that they've longed for but haven't yet had the courage to claim. Hold compassion for those who envy you, but do not let their insecurities become the bars of your own cage. You are not defined by their opinions. You are defined by the choices you make, the actions you take, and the love you pour into your purpose. Every time you choose to rise above envy, to keep moving forward despite the whispers of doubt and jealousy, you build resilience. You build a life that is yours alone, a life that reflects your truth, your integrity, and your deepest calling. Let their envy remind you of your impact. Let it be the proof that your journey matters, that your light cannot be ignored. You are a reminder to others that it's possible to live authentically, to pursue what sets your soul on fire. Even in their envy, they are paying you the highest compliment, that you are living the way they wish they could. So don't hold back. Don't dim your light. Let your life be a testament to what's possible when you refuse to settle. Because every step you take toward your highest self is a step that challenges the world to rise with you. When you choose to live boldly, you become a symbol of possibility in a world that often tells people to play it safe. Your willingness to take risks, to fail and get back up again, shows others that comfort zones are prisons in disguise. It challenges them to look at the walls they've built around their own potential and wonder what it would feel like to tear them down. Envy is born in that wondering. It's the reaction of someone who sees you stepping into the life they've only imagined for themselves. And though they may try to hide it behind smiles or silence, their envy speaks volumes about the power of your choices. It's a reflection of the impact you're making, even when you can't see it. Every time you push through fear, every time you refuse to let doubt define you, you're giving others a silent invitation to do the same. Even if they're not ready to accept it yet, your courage plants a seed of hope. That hope may look like envy at first, but with time and your consistent example, it can grow into something stronger, like inspiration. That's why it's so important to stay committed to your own path, to stay true to who you are becoming. Because your journey is about so much more than your own achievements. It's about showing the world what's possible when you refuse to let other people's limitations dictate your destiny. It's easy to forget, especially on the days when the weight of envy feels heavy on your shoulders, that your path is yours alone. No one else can walk it for you. No one else can define what success looks like for you. And no one else has the right to decide how brightly you're allowed to shine. Their envy is theirs to manage. Your light is yours to share. Remember that the ones who envy you now may one day find the strength to walk beside you, not out of competition but out of inspiration. Until then, keep your focus where it belongs, on your growth, your purpose, your dreams. Every time you feel the sting of envy, let it remind you that you're breaking barriers. You're proving to yourself and to the world that you refuse to settle for a life of quiet desperation. You're choosing to live fully, to embrace your potential with open arms. That choice will always challenge others to look within and ask themselves if they're ready to do the same. And while not everyone will answer yes, your courage will never be wasted. It ripples out, touching lives in ways you may never see, inspiring change that you may never know. So keep moving forward, keep choosing authenticity, keep shining your light, because your light is the invitation the world needs to believe in its own potential. Even when the envy of others feels overwhelming, remember that their reaction is not a reflection of your flaws, but a reflection of your strength. When people see you rise, they can't help but feel the contrast between where they are and where they wish they could be. That contrast is uncomfortable, and in their discomfort, they may choose to direct that energy at you rather than themselves. But that choice is about them, not about you. It's about the gap between who they are and who they want to be. And while you may not be able to close that gap for them, you can continue to walk your own path with grace and conviction. Every step you take, every boundary you set, every time you refuse to settle, you're writing a story of resilience that others may one day choose to learn from. Your journey is not meant to make everyone feel at ease. In fact, sometimes your growth will challenge others to the point where they can't help but feel threatened. But that threat is not your responsibility to manage. Your responsibility is to stay true to the vision you have for your life, to honor the commitment you made to yourself, and to never compromise who you are for the comfort of others. Because your life is not about making everyone else feel safe. It's about living a life that sets your soul on fire and inspires others to do the same. Envy may try to dim that fire, but only if you let it. And you don't have to let it. Hold your head high, knowing that the envy you face is a sign that you are on the right path. It's proof that your light is shining bright enough to be noticed, even by those who may not be ready to embrace their own. Let their envy remind you of your own courage, of the strength it takes to walk a path that not everyone will understand. And let it fuel your determination to keep going, to keep growing, to keep becoming the person you were always meant to be. Because your journey is not just about where you're going, It's about who you're becoming along the way. When you feel the weight of envy pressing down, remind yourself that your worth is not determined by the approval of others. It's determined by the choices you make to honor your truth, to follow your dreams, and to trust the path that's unfolding before you. Their envy is theirs to work through. Your light is yours to shine. Let that light be unwavering. Let it be a source of hope, a reminder that living fully is worth every challenge you face. Because when you refuse to let envy hold you back, you give others permission to believe that they can rise too. And in that rising, the world begins to change. You have to understand that every time you choose to stand tall in the face of envy, you reinforce your own strength. It's not easy to keep shining when others try to dim your light, but that is precisely when you grow the most. It's in those moments of tension, when you're tempted to shrink or hide, that your true power is forged. Because envy doesn't come from a place of strength, it comes from a place of longing, of wishing they had the courage to step into the arena the way you have. And by standing firm, you're proving that courage is not the absence of fear but the choice to move forward in spite of it. That choice is the essence of growth. It's the reason you're here. It's what makes you a light in the darkness for others who are searching for their own way. Keep reminding yourself that every step you take toward your dreams is a step that many only wish they could take. That's why they envy you. Not because you're better than them, but because you dared to do what they've only thought about. And in their envy lies a hidden compliment. They see in you the strength they've been searching for in themselves. Let that be a reason to hold your head high, to walk your path with even more conviction. Because every time you do, you're not just transforming your own life. You're holding up a mirror that challenges others to find their own potential. And yes, that mirror can be uncomfortable for them. It can make them feel vulnerable, exposed, even defensive. But that's not your burden to carry. Your burden is to keep growing, to keep learning, to keep shining. Because the world needs people who are willing to rise above envy, who are willing to be the example of what's possible when you refuse to let doubt win. When you choose to respond to envy with grace instead of anger, with compassion instead of resentment, you show the world a better way. You remind them that true strength is not found in tearing others down, but in lifting yourself up and inviting others to do the same. So every time envy whispers in your ear that you're too much, too ambitious, too bright, remember that it's only proof that you're making an impact. Let it strengthen your resolve to keep becoming the person you were meant to be. Let it deepen your commitment to your purpose, to your dreams, to your growth. Because the world doesn't need another person who hides their light to make others comfortable. It needs more people like you, people who are willing to shine, no matter who tries to dim them. Keep shining, keep rising, and keep believing that your light is not just for you but for every single person who is still searching for the courage to let theirs shine too. There's a quiet power in recognizing that envy is often the product of unfulfilled potential. When others see you stepping into your dreams, it forces them to face the parts of themselves they've neglected. It's not about you being perfect or flawless. It's about you daring to try, daring to fail, daring to get back up and keep going. That's what sets you apart from those who only wish. And that's why they envy you. Because in a world that too often rewards conformity, you've chosen to stand in your authenticity. That choice is not always easy, but it's always worth it. Because every time you choose to honor your dreams, you remind others that they have dreams too. And sometimes that reminder stings, especially for those who've spent their lives playing it safe. You must never let that sting pull you away from your path. Their envy is not your responsibility to soothe. It's their invitation to grow. You can't heal the wounds they've chosen to ignore, but you can keep showing them that healing is possible by living your truth. That's the real gift of your light. It's not just about achieving your goals. It's about illuminating the way for others to believe in theirs. When you stand tall, even in the face of envy, you become a beacon of hope. You show that it's okay to be different, to be bold, to take risks, to live with passion. That's a message the world desperately needs. So when the weight of envy tries to drag you down, let it remind you of your own strength. Let it be a testament to your growth, to the resilience you've built by refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Remember that envy can only reach you if you let it. If you choose to let it slide off your shoulders, if you choose to let it sharpen your focus instead of dull your light, you'll find that nothing can hold you back. You have a choice every day to be defined by the envy of others, or to be defined by the fire that burns within you. Choose the fire, choose the light, choose to rise. Your journey is not meant to make everyone comfortable. It's meant to challenge, to disrupt, to inspire. Every time you take a step forward, you invite others to rise with you. Not all will accept that invitation, and that's okay. Your job is not to drag others along. Your job is to live in a way that makes them believe they can do it too. So stand strong. Even when envy whispers that you don't belong, you do belong. You belong in every room you choose to walk into, every dream you choose to chase. Let the envy of others remind you that you're on the right path, Let it fuel the fire that refuses to be dimmed. Because your light is not just for you, it's for everyone who's still searching for the courage to let theirs shine. Let envy be the proof that you're alive, that you're moving, that you're growing. Because those who stand still, who hide from their own potential, rarely stir envy in others. It's the ones who dare to dream, who dare to create, who dare to live fully, that cause others to look up and wonder why they haven't done the same. Your courage, your passion, your willingness to stand out. These are the things that draw envy like a magnet. But remember, that envy is not your enemy. It's a signpost on the road you're walking. It means you're stepping into spaces that others are too afraid to explore. And every time envy shows up, it's a reminder that you're making a difference, even if you can't always see it. You don't need to apologize for the space you take up. You don't need to shrink to make others feel comfortable. You are here to live your life, to shine your light, to embrace your purpose. When others envy you, it's because they see something in you they wish they had the courage to claim. That is their journey, not yours. Stay focused on your own path. Stay focused on the choices that align with your values, your dreams, your passions. Because the moment you start dimming your light to fit in is the moment you begin to lose the very thing that makes you special. So when envy finds you, let it pass through you like a breeze. Don't let it stick. Don't let it weigh you down. Let it remind you that you're doing something right, that you're living in a way that makes others take notice, that you're daring to be yourself in a world that often tells people to hide, because that is your superpower. And it's one of the greatest gifts you can give to the world. A living, breathing example of what's possible when you choose to live fully and unapologetically. Every time you rise above envy, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than the opinions of others. You prove that your journey is not about them. It's about the promise you made to yourself, the promise to live authentically, the promise to never settle for less than what you know you're capable of, the promise to honor the dreams that live in your heart. Keep that promise. Let envy be a spark that ignites your fire, instead of a chain that holds you back. Let it remind you that you are a force of nature, unstoppable and unbreakable. You have come too far to let envy dictate your worth. Your light was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to shine, to guide, to inspire. So let it shine, no matter who it makes uncomfortable, because in the end, your journey is yours alone. And you were born to walk it boldly, no matter who watches from the sidelines. Every time envy rises against you, remember that it's not the world trying to tear you down. It's the world testing whether you're strong enough to keep standing. It's the universe asking, will you choose to believe in yourself, even when others can't yet see what you're building? The answer to that question defines the person you become. When you embrace that challenge with open arms, you transform. You become the one who refuses to be small just because others are afraid to grow. You become the one who sets a new standard of courage for everyone around you. And that's when the power of envy loses its grip. It no longer controls your decisions or shapes your identity. It becomes just another voice in the background, reminding you that you are on the right path. You are not here to live a life dictated by the opinions of others. You are here to create, to evolve, to fulfill the deepest dreams that live in your soul. Those dreams are not random. They were given to you for a reason. They are your unique contribution to a world that desperately needs more authenticity, more passion, more light. When others envy you, it's often because they sense that you've tapped into something they've neglected within themselves. And that's a powerful thing. Because in your journey to fulfill your dreams, you're not just living for yourself, you're showing others what's possible. Your growth is not a threat, it's a beacon. Every time you grow, you show others that growth is available to them too. Every time you rise, you remind others that they can rise as well. And even though envy may come dressed as criticism or doubt, underneath it is a quiet confession that you're showing them a version of themselves they long to become. Hold that truth close. Let it fuel your journey. Let it give you the strength to keep moving forward when the voices of doubt get loud. Because your dreams deserve to be lived, not hidden. Stay committed to your vision. Don't compromise it to fit into someone else's comfort zone. Don't shrink to avoid their envy. Every time you choose to stay big, to stay bold, to stay true, you strengthen the foundation of your own confidence. And that confidence is unstoppable. It's the kind that can weather any storm, outlast any obstacle, and rise again even when others think you've fallen. That is the gift you give yourself every time you refuse to let envy dictate your journey. So stand tall, own your power. Let your light shine as bright as it was always meant to. Because the world doesn't just need more people. It needs more people who are willing to live fully, to love deeply, and to rise above envy. You are that person. And every time you choose courage over conformity, you prove to yourself, and to the world, that no amount of envy can ever dim the fire that burns within you. There is a force within you that no one else can replicate. It's the unique combination of your experiences, your strengths, your passions, and your relentless drive to become more. That force is what others see when they envy you. They see a reflection of the greatness they've yet to embrace within themselves. And while that can make them uncomfortable, it should make you proud, because it means you are living in alignment with who you were born to be. When envy whispers that you don't belong or that you're too much, let it remind you that your uniqueness is your superpower, that no one else can walk your path, and no one else can claim your light. Let that truth sink into the deepest parts of your being, and let it fortify your spirit. Your journey is not meant to be easy. Growth never is. But every challenge you face, every moment of doubt, every obstacle you overcome, becomes part of the foundation you're building. It becomes proof that you are stronger than the circumstances that seek to define you. And every time you rise, you remind yourself that the only approval you truly need is your own, that your worth is not determined by the envy of others, but by the unwavering commitment you have to your own purpose. That is the kind of strength that cannot be faked, cannot be copied, and cannot be stolen. It is forged in the fires of perseverance and built on the belief that you are meant for something more. So keep building, keep believing, keep showing up for yourself, even when others can't see the vision that burns in your heart. Because every time you do, you become a living example of what's possible when you refuse to be defined by anyone else's limitations. You become a testament to the power of resilience, to the beauty of authenticity, and to the unstoppable force of a soul on fire with purpose. And that is what the world needs now more than ever. People who are brave enough to be themselves, no matter who watches from the sidelines. Let the envy of others be the background noise to the music of your life. Let it remind you that you're making waves in a world that often prefers stillness. Let it push you to rise higher, to dream bigger, to live more fully. Because the best revenge against envy is a life well lived, a life that overflows with joy, with purpose, and with the relentless pursuit of your highest potential. That is the life you deserve. And that is the life you are building, one choice, one step, one moment at a time. So stand tall in your light, stand tall in your truth, and let nothing, absolutely nothing, dim the fire that makes you unstoppable. The fire that burns inside you is not an accident. It is the culmination of every challenge you have faced, every choice you have made, and every dream that has refused to be silenced. When others envy you, it's because they can sense that your fire is real. They can feel the energy you bring to every room you enter, the spark that lights up your conversations, and the courage that shapes your every step. That fire is not just for you. It is a beacon for those still searching for their own light. And while envy may sting at first, let it be a reminder that you are living proof that authenticity is power. Because you are not here to blend in. You are here to stand out, to lead by example, to show the world what it means to be unapologetically yourself. When you choose to walk your own path, it's natural for others to react. Some will admire you, some will question you, and some will envy you, but none of that should dictate how brightly you shine. Because your light is not a threat to those who are ready to embrace their own. It is an invitation, an unspoken message that says, it's okay to be you. That is why you must keep going, no matter how loud the envy becomes. Because the world needs your light. It needs your strength, your passion, your unwavering commitment to growth. Every time you rise above the noise, you become a living example of resilience, courage, and authenticity. Envy may try to pull you back into the shadows, but you were born for the light. Every time you choose to shine, you give others permission to do the same. Every time you choose to rise, you inspire others to rise with you. That is the ripple effect of living authentically. It's not just about you, it's about everyone who comes after you. Every person who dares to follow their dreams because they saw you refuse to back down. Every person who decides to believe in themselves because they saw you believe in yourself first. That is the legacy you are creating moment by moment, day by day. So let the envy come. Let it wash over you, but never let it define you. Let it remind you that you are on a path that few have the courage to walk. Let it strengthen your resolve to keep going, even when the road gets hard. Because every time you rise above it, you prove to yourself and to the world that you are unstoppable. That no amount of doubt, criticism, or envy can dim the light that was always meant to shine. And in the end, that is the greatest victory of all, to be fully unapologetically you, no matter who stands in your way. When you feel the weight of envy pressing on your spirit, remember that it is simply a reflection of the impact you are making. It is the silent acknowledgement that you are doing something different, something powerful enough to rattle the insecurities of those who have yet to discover their own strength. Let that knowledge empower you rather than diminish you. Because every time someone envies your light, it means your light is strong enough to be seen. It means you are stepping into your purpose, daring to live a life that refuses to be ordinary. That is no small feat. It takes guts to be yourself in a world that often demands conformity. It takes heart to stand tall when others might shrink in the face of criticism. but that is exactly why you must keep going. Because the world doesn't need more copies. It needs originals like you. Every time you choose authenticity over approval, you are making a choice that few dare to make. You are choosing to honor the call within you, rather than bowing to the expectations of others, and that choice is magnetic. It draws people in, inspires them to question their own limits, and awakens a desire to find their own voice. That is why envy exists. It's a reaction to the courage you display, a testament to the life you are building. But it is not your burden to carry. It is theirs to reconcile. Your job is to stay true to your path, to keep building a life that feels right to you, and to keep shining even when it would be easier to dim your light. It is easy to get caught up in the noise, to let the whispers of doubt or criticism seep into your heart. But every time you find yourself tempted to retreat, remind yourself of why you started. Remind yourself of the vision that drives you, the passion that refuses to be silenced, the dreams that burn brighter than any shadow cast by envy. Because you are here for a reason. You are here to create, to inspire, to lead. And nothing, not even the envy of those who wish they could do the same, can take that away from you. That is the power you hold. That is the strength that cannot be faked. So let your light shine with unwavering confidence. Let your heart lead you toward the life you deserve, not the one others think you should have. And let every challenge, every criticism, every envious glance be fuel for your journey, rather than a chain that holds you back. Because you were not born to blend in. You were born to stand out, to break barriers, to redefine what's possible. That is the truth you must carry. That is the fire that will guide you home to your purpose, no matter what stands in your way. When the world feels like it's against you, when envy slithers through the cracks and doubt clings to your every move, remember that your path is yours alone. No one else can walk it. No one else can feel the fire in your chest or the hunger that drives you forward. The whispers of envy are powerless unless you let them inside. You hold the key to your own strength. You decide whether you let envy weaken you or fuel you. And every time you choose growth over fear, every time you choose authenticity over approval, you build a resilience that no one can take away. That is how greatness is forged, not in the absence of envy, but in the courage to rise above it. The people who envy you are often battling their own insecurities. They see your light and wish they could find their own. They see your strength and feel the weight of their own doubts. They see your confidence and wonder why they can't summon the same. But that is not your problem to solve. Your journey is not about making others comfortable. It is about standing in your truth, even when that truth makes others uncomfortable. That is what it means to lead by example. To show what is possible, even when others cannot yet see it for themselves. When you embrace this truth, you free yourself from the chains of approval and step fully into your power. Your power is not found in pleasing others. It is found in the quiet moments when you choose integrity over popularity, when you stand firm in your convictions despite the pressure to conform. It is found in every choice you make that aligns with your purpose, in every risk you take that brings you closer to your dreams. And every time you refuse to shrink, you send a message to the world: I am enough, I am worthy, I will not be dimmed. This is the message that envy cannot touch. It is the flame that envy fears most, because it is a flame that refuses to be extinguished. So hold your head high and walk your path with pride. Let envy come and let it go. Let it wash over you and pass by without leaving a mark. Because your worth is not defined by the opinions of others. It is defined by the love you hold for yourself, by the dreams you chase, and by the strength you cultivate each time you choose courage over fear. The world is watching, waiting for you to show what is possible. And when you do, you not only transform your own life, but you light the way for countless others to rise with you. This is your moment. Own it. Let nothing hold you back. Let your fire burn so brightly that it ignites every dream waiting to be awakened. When you choose to keep going despite the noise, you prove to yourself that your dreams are stronger than doubt. Every step you take in the direction of your purpose adds fuel to the fire that keeps you moving. Even when envy tries to cloud your vision, even when criticism tries to dim your shine, you are the only one who decides how brightly you burn. That choice is the most powerful act of self-love you can offer yourself. It means telling yourself, over and over again, that you are enough as you are, and that you deserve to chase your dreams without apology. It means trusting that the seeds you plant now will one day grow into the future you've been working toward. It's in those quiet moments of resilience that your greatness is born. People who envy you are often battling their own silent wars. They see you stepping into your light, and it reminds them of the parts of themselves they've kept hidden. That reflection is uncomfortable for them, and sometimes that discomfort takes the shape of criticism, gossip, or passive resistance. But their envy is not your responsibility. You do not owe them an explanation, nor do you owe them a version of yourself that makes them feel safe. Your journey is your own. It is sacred. And every time you refuse to shrink, Every time you choose growth over approval, you take a step closer to the person you were meant to become. That is the real victory. The moment you realize that their envy cannot define you, your power grows every time you rise above the noise. It grows every time you choose to focus on your vision rather than their opinions. It grows every time you wake up and decide to keep going, even when it would be easier to stop. That is how resilience is built, through countless small choices that strengthen your core. Through every challenge you overcome, you discover a deeper layer of strength you didn't know you had. And that strength is what inspires others to rise. That strength is what changes lives, not just your own, but the lives of those who witness your courage and decide they too can be brave. So keep going. Keep showing up for yourself, for your dreams, and for the person you are becoming. Let envy come and let it go, like a passing storm that cannot touch your foundation. Because your worth is not negotiable. Your purpose is not up for debate. Every time you doubt yourself, remember how far you've come, and remind yourself that your journey matters. You are the architect of your own future. Let your heart guide you, let your fire drive you, and let every envious glance remind you that you are on the right path. A path that was never meant to be walked by the faint of heart, but by the brave, the bold, the unstoppable. Your journey is not defined by the envy of others, but by the quiet moments of choice that shape your destiny. Every time you choose to believe in yourself when doubt surrounds you, you strengthen the foundation of your purpose. Every time you show kindness to yourself when envy rears its head, you rise above the noise and declare your commitment to growth. This is the true test of resilience, the decision to stand firm in the face of judgment, to hold your head high when others try to bring you down. Because your worth is not determined by their approval. Your worth is built on the courage to stay true to your path, no matter how rocky the road may seem. Each day you wake up and choose to keep moving forward, you send a powerful message to yourself and the world around you. You declare that you will not be swayed by the negativity of those who envy what they cannot understand. Their envy is a reflection of their own battles, not of your value. You are here to shine, to rise, to inspire, and to build a life that aligns with your deepest truths. That journey is not easy, but it is worth every step. It is in the discomfort that you find your greatest lessons, in the challenges that you discover the strength you never knew you had. Let the envy of others be a reminder that you are doing something right. It means you are visible. It means your light is shining so brightly that others can't help but notice. Do not dim that light for the sake of their comfort. Let it burn as a beacon of hope for those who are still searching for their own. Let it remind you that your journey is unique, and that your voice matters. When you own your journey, you inspire others to do the same. When you rise above envy, you give others permission to rise above their own doubts. Your path is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who dare to be seen, who dare to live authentically, who dare to pursue their dreams despite the noise of the world. Every time you choose to honor your truth, you build a legacy that envy cannot touch. You become an example of what is possible when courage meets purpose. And that is the kind of legacy that transforms not just your own life, but the lives of everyone who crosses your path. Keep going, keep shining. Let every challenge refine you, every setback strengthen you, and every envious glance remind you that you are on the path to greatness.